Hey everyone, Two Crafty Sheila's here. I'm Belle. As you can see, we've got Kim this one. Kim's finally showing her screen. Yay! Today we're going to do a whip and chat, and I can give you a bit of a brief update about what's been going on with me, but this one's really going to be about getting to know our new Crafty Sheila, Kim. So hopefully everyone out there is doing very, very well. We welcome any new subscribers that we have. We do appreciate having you here. And of course, if you do like our video, please, please, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow along with our brand of crazy. Let's get started with, what are you working on, Kim?
I am working on a Diamond Art Club. It's called Be Gentle Butterfly.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's beautiful. The colours are amazing. Pastel, but so vibrant.
They are. They are. I was thinking that just before when I was watching you set up. Like, those colours are just spectacular. Like, if they don't give you that energy boost, what will?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they're pretty. And have you got any fancy stuff that you're using?
I'm using a pen by Stylo Decobois off Etsy.
Very good.
Just a mini pen.
I'll make sure I link them down below once I find out from Kim how to spell it.
Yep. And I'm just using a basic DAC putty and a DAC tray. Just basic.
Oh, nice. They're good quality. Why do you need anything different?
I
honestly?
like them. Yeah, I like them. So
yeah. For me, I am working on a mini PaintGem. So this is one of the museum edition ones. So this one is the Mona Lisa, in case you sort of hadn't guessed from the slightly pixelated version. So this is about number 7, I think, for me, out of 10. So I'm getting through this one. I'm definitely going to make sure I finish this one in the month of April, which is really good. As for my accessories, I have my beautiful Fantasy Sparkills tray. It's just one of their smaller ones, perfect for a paint jam. It's awesome.
pretty.
I got this pen from a D-stash from Kim, actually. And she tells me it's from another French one. Stylo Decobois. I'm so sorry. I do not speak French. I have never learnt French in my life. I'm so sorry. Just but yes, I've got those, and I've got the Everlasting Tips. So beautiful, beautiful Aussie company there. And inside it, I have putty from the Creativity Squirrel, and this is the Tahitian Honey scent. So I'm loving that.
Pretty.
I'm loving that. Yeah, smells very, very tropical, because it does feel quite warm here. We've been unseasonably warm, so
have we.
Although now, the last couple of days, cold snap.
Yep, we've got a cold snap coming up this weekend, starting tomorrow.
Rainy
weekend.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
Good excuse for class.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Perfect excuse. So for anyone out there, I am going to upload this video tomorrow for us, which is Friday, April 25th. Now, us here in Australia and New Zealand, tomorrow is Anzac Day. So it stands for Australia and New Zealand Army Corps. So it's one of the days that we remember our veterans and we celebrate the sacrifices that they made for us back in World War I, but largely any war. But it's largely based around Gallipoli. That was the major fight for us, especially in World War I. So to all of my Australian and New Zealand friends, happy Anzac Day. I hope you are celebrating the fact that we get a long weekend to be able to celebrate their sacrifices. But Kim, are you going to go to any of the what are they called? Parades?
I was thinking about going to the dawn service, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But okay. I'm thinking about going to one, yes.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I've thought about going to a dawn service a few times, but I'm not a morning person. So I'd have to stay up the whole night to make it. And I figured no one wants to see me after 10 a.m. if I've been up all night. So I probably won't get to that. And especially with a 5-year-old, it's hard to get there.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been debating whether we're going to do the march though. So he did the march with me last year as part of the school because he was in kindy.
Yep.
And I have a great uncle who he's a Kiwi. He's actually from New Zealand, and he was part of the Merchant Navy. So I last year got to wear his war medals as part of the march to recognise his service.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so it was pretty special, and it was a really good, opportunity to talk to my son about, what Anzac Day means, and unfortunately what war is, and all of those lovely things. So, yeah, no, it was a beautiful day that I got to share with him. That my husband had to stand on the sidelines and wait the 2 hours or so until we came around. But what we at least got to do, it was about a 3-kilometer walk for us.
Okay.
We did quite a big distance, which I was surprised about. I didn't realize that was how far they spread it out here in town. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So I know you've been doing some volunteer work for a animal shelter.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about what you're doing.
Basically, all I'm really doing is looking after the cats, making sure they have clean litter, plenty of food, sweeping, mopping, making sure their rooms, because they don't live in cages. Different cats live in different rooms.
Oh, that's awesome that they will get their own individual area.
No, not an individual, but there's a really big area where the adult cats go, and then there's a kitten room.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
That's nice.
But they've got plenty of space to themselves, and they can get away from other cats. And
that's amazing. And you've been saying to me, obviously off camera, but you've been saying that you've been getting a few adoptions lately. So how exciting that these cats are getting their forever homes.
They are. It's wonderful. And some of the shy ones are getting their homes. So
great.
it's absolutely wonderful.
That's fantastic. I'm so thankful that there are people like you out there in the world that can do that job. My heart would just break and I couldn't do it. So I'm so thankful that there are people like you.
Went down to Melbourne yesterday and picked up a little one from one of the big shelters. So
yeah, that's so important that now that cat's got another chance.
Yep, and 2 little black kittens.
Oh, cute.
They are gorgeous. They both got little white splashes on their lips.
Oh, that's
they
cool.
Are beautiful. Yep.
Oh, so good.
They are beautiful.
So you're obviously a cat lover?
I am very much a cat lover, but very much an animal lover.
Good. So how many pets have you got?
At the moment, I only have 2 cats and 1 fish.
Oh, a fish with cats. How does that go?
Well, they lay next to his fish tank and he sleeps next to them.
Okay.
They get on fine. Have weird animals.
So it's not a traditional cat-fish relationship then? So that's good.
No.
I've seen way too many YouTube shorts and other videos and things of cats trying to get to the fish in the fish tanks, and either the cat falling in or the fish tank falling over. That's just what I envision all cats are like with fish now.
Yes, well, mine has an actual plastic lid over the top, so they can't actually touch the water.
Oh, cool.
Otherwise, I don't think I'd have a fish.
So it is the traditional form then.
Oh, if they could, they would, yes.
Oh, that's cool. Now, let's talk craft. We're a crafty channel, so let's talk craft. So you obviously diamond paint. What other crafts do you do?
I do miniatures. I make jewellery. You're very welcome.
Kim's now got me addicted, so thanks for that.
Yeah. I also do cross stitch.
Cross stitch, nice.
I do jigsaws.
Jigsaws, yes. Oh, you're talking my language.
Yes, I do jigsaws. I do wooden and metal. What do you call them? They're robo time. like build Ferris wheels and guitars and drum kits and.
Oh, what are they? I saw them. They're sort of calling them like 3D puzzles, basically.
That's them. Yeah, 3D puzzles.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yep.
great.
Yep.
After you got me addicted, I went and had a look, and I ended up buying a kit online, and then to get free postage, because girl math, to get free postage, I needed to get a second one. So I found that they've got a really cool marble run, and I thought that'd be great. My son will have a blast with that.
Yep. Did you get one of the light up ones or one of the normal?
No, I think it was a normal one. It hasn't arrived yet. It's on its way. It's down in Sydney at the moment. I checked on tracking yesterday. So maybe it's come up to Queensland. I'm not sure, but it's certainly not at my door. So yeah, it's at least in the country, but I can't remember. But I just thought whichever one I picked, I thought like the marble would actually travel more, which would have been more interesting to my son rather than everything else. I don't think it was a light up. I think it had like a lot of like spirals and things. Yep.
That would be one of the normal ones. Yeah, they are. They're so much fun to do, but they're a bit harder because they're mechanical.
Yes. My husband's an engineer. I reckon I'm going to put him on that
you're fine. You're fine.
He's actually an electrical engineer, and he works for the local electrical company, and he helps to sort out a lot of stuff for them. So he looks after basically most of Queensland, and he does a lot of like obviously the background work. He's not necessarily on the tools, although he has been on the tools to actually work with the guys to work out the best process for certain things. So he's not scared to get on the tools, which I think is great. It's a good rapport building thing.
Yeah.
But he gets so frustrated with me because like these mini kits that you've now got me hooked on. Thanks a lot. My bank balance hates you right now. So the little book nooks that I've been doing, like they've obviously got the little lamp things in them.
Yes, the light.
Yes, the light, that's the word. Sorry, it's been a hard day today. The light thing. And there's been a couple of times, like I've just got to get used to the wording in them. But like if you guys haven't done it out there in YouTube land, the way that they have the wording is they just call them like a P with a number. And you have to go to like the front of the book to work out what P2, P3, P4, which light that is. And it's usually then down to like, is it a square light or a round light? Does it have like a longer insulation section or a short insulation section? Like they've numbered it that way. And it's very, very weird to me. Like it's not how my brain would have naturally thought. So my husband gets so frustrated because I'll start doing it and then I'll be like, oh, I think I've picked up the wrong one. And then I put it all back out and then I'll start with another one. No, I think it was the first one. And he comes over and he's like, this one. And he can look at it at a glance and know exactly which one it is. And I'm like, I'm not an electrical engineer, dude. Like, give me some credit. He laughs at me and then he just gets really frustrated over the fact that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making this up as I go along. But yeah,
they are fun though.
They're so fun. I've managed to finish one kit so far. I'm almost finished a second kit, and my son has no end of fun walking past and just like pressing that light on. And we've obviously recently had Easter, so we've had family around, and everyone that's come around, he's pulled it out. See what my mum built and showing it off. He loves it. It's so good.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why I wanted to do it is I thought he would enjoy the end result.
Yes.
So it's really cool. So I am glad you've got me on it. However, my bank account hates you, and
of course,
my husband's not impressed either, just for the record. But totally worth it.
Oh yeah. They are awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so cross stitch, jigsaws, miniatures, and diamond painting. Was there anything else?
I do occasionally do plastic airplane models.
Oh, like to the point where you've got to paint them and everything?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. I've never tried it. I've never been game to try it. I don't have the patience for that, I don't think. But that's really cool.
They are fun, but your hands have got to be so steady to keep it all straight and
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not me. I would never be a
Not me at the
surgeon.
moment either.
I would definitely never be a surgeon.
I know. Not me.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you only do aeroplanes? Like, I know that some people will cross over into like ships and things as well.
I do like the ships, yes.
That's
But I
cool.
mainly do aeroplanes.
Okay.
Mainly the
war
fighter.
aeroplane? The
Yeah.
fighters, yeah.
The fighters.
Do you have a favorite?
Tomcat.
Ooh. I shouldn't have asked. I have no idea what that is. I'll flash an image up on the screen. It means nothing.
It's just an F-14. It's an American plane.
Okay. That's really cool.
Yep. That and my cat.
The all
That's
important.
a big hobby. Yep.
The fur babies are the best hobby to have.
They are.
Yeah. Sorry, tell me, do you live major city, regional city, small town?
Small town.
Small town? That's cool.
Small town.
Yep. Is it small enough like everyone knows everyone, or not quite that bad?
Not quite. But,
but almost.
When you go down the top, everybody knows you, yes.
Yeah, okay. But sometimes that's nice. Like,
It
I know
is
you can't
nice.
get away with anything, but it is nice that, you know, you've got your neighbours that will check up on you and all of those sorts of things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a nice little town.
Yeah,
So we do have, well, I suppose we do have some regional bigger towns close by,
okay.
but it's still very much country Victoria.
Yeah. Yeah. Just curious. I know that Victoria can get some pretty nasty. I'm sorry if you can hear my dishwasher. I know that Victoria can get some pretty nasty bushfires and things. Is that something that happens in your area generally, or you're normally in an area
We've had
that's
one major one
okay? That's
in the
awful.
last 20 years.
That's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. It's definitely something that Australians know well and truly, isn't it? We get some
It is,
pretty horrific.
Yeah. Black Saturday.
Oh, did that affect you as well? Although it affected most of
It
Victoria, didn't
affected
it?
a lot of Victoria, yes, but yes, it affected us greatly.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's awful.
A lot of people lost their lives, properties. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
No, that was one that still is talked about and remembered quite a lot. And how long ago was that? I feel like it was 10, 15
That
years.
Was 15 years. 2010, 2009, 2009.
Wow, I can't believe that.
Yep.
Certainly probably more so in New South Wales and Victoria, but I know that like on that anniversary, even up here, it's always discussed and remembered.
Yeah.
That was devastating for Australia.
It was horrific.
What else can I ask you? So what got you into your various crafts? Start with diamond painting. What made you start diamond painting?
Well, I was always a cross stitcher, and Mum and I had been seeing these ads on all the platforms, and she decided one day we were going to try it. So she bought a couple of kits. We got them for free ship, just pay shipping.
Oh, yeah.
And I fell in love. And that was nearly 10 years ago.
Wow. So you were definitely pre-COVID. You were one of the OGs.
Oh, yeah. Well before pre-COVID. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And how quickly did you get on to, I'm going to say like the more premium companies like DAC or, you know, Dreamers or any of the other premiums?
Took me about 3 years. I always looked at DAC and dreamed, but I couldn't justify the cost. And then they came out with a kit. It was a country cottage kit, and I just had to have it. And that was the end of that.
Fair. Those are really, really cute kits. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it is absolutely adorable.
And then the Draglings came out, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, I understand that one. Let's not speak of that addiction, hey?
Yeah. Although I don't think I have many of those left, strangely enough.
Oh, is that because you've done some and then I've bought the rest? Is that
Yeah,
why you're
pretty much.
almost out?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, if we did laugh, I'd cry.
Yeah.
No, it's well worth. But like I said to you in previous videos, I'm not selling them back to you, just for the record.
Yeah, I know. I don't regret selling them. I've still got my cats for it, so
Yes,
that was worth selling them.
definitely. And look, the reality is that you know, any of these kits eventually will come back up on the market in a D-stash. You know, maybe one day I'll feel sorry for you and I'll get one of them back for you. But like, you know, this is the thing. I was talking to I can't even remember who it was, but it was someone in the US. Oh, I think it was Brittany with Sparkling Diamonds with Robin and Brittany. I'll put their channel down below. If you haven't checked them out, please do. They're beautiful ladies inside and out. But I was talking to her and we were talking about it, and I was saying, no, it wasn't her. Who was it? It's all right. I'll still link them down below. I was talking to somebody and we were talking about, you know, like our unicorn kits. Absolute unicorn. And I said, I don't really have one at the moment, because the big one for me was I didn't find DAC until it's about 2 years ago now.
Oh, okay.
And so I missed out on all the original mystery kits and things. And of course, they never re-released. And I wanted the Spangler mystery kit. And I was like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I'll find it one day. And then you were silly enough to put it up on a D-stash. So I got it.
You did?
So I always say to people, like, you never know when it's going to happen and how long it's going to take. But basically, every kit will always end up coming back around. So just get on those D-stash sites and just watch for those unicorns. You just never know what's going to be out there.
That's right.
We all have our stories and we all have our reasons for, you know, not being able to buy or needing to sell or whatever it might be. So
that's right. I mean, I wouldn't have sold if it wasn't for my cats.
That's right. That's right. And I, for one, am very thankful that you needed to sell them, just for the record.
Well, I'm very thankful you needed to buy them instead of my cat.
Oh, I felt so terrible when I bought all those kits, because I was so conscious of the fact that you had to find all of that paperwork and try and put so many kits rolled up together to pop it in the post. Oh, I felt terrible. But I was so excited when I got to open it.
Yeah. I was actually happy I was happy that you got a lot of those kits.
No, I was really excited. They're beautiful, beautiful kits that you had. You had such a good stash.
Oh, yeah. Did I ever?
Apparently, I've got a beautiful stash now.
My stash is getting back up there, unfortunately. I need to be careful.
Yes, yes. I'm definitely going on a bit of a go slow at the moment, because I'm definitely feeling it now and needing to get my stash down a little bit. It's now starting to stress me out. So
it does get very overwhelming when you've got that many.
Yes. Although I did pre-warn my husband and said, if any of my other draglings come up in a very, very cheap Australian D-stash, too bad, so sad, I'm buying them.
You can't say no. Not when it's like that.
No. So, you know, that's totally different. So he's agreed, and we've got our election coming up very soon, next week.
Yes.
So I usually work at the election. So my husband has no end of joy of saying that I work the polls. He thinks it's hilarious. So so I look, the job that I do, I find it virtually impossible to be able to do jury duty. I always have to get excused because I can't take that time off work at such short notice and for that length of time. Like, we would have to close the shop, which of course then impacts the community. So so for us, like, it's something that I never get to do. But I am a firm believer that everyone should do civic duty somewhere along the way. So for me, it's one way that I can do civic duty. is to be able to work on polling day. And I find like it's just fun to be able to be part of that process. You know, you've always got the people that grumble and moan over the fact that here in Australia it is compulsory to attend a voting booth. So the common misconception is that everyone has to vote. That's actually incorrect. You have to attend a voting place, a voting poll, and get marked off the register and receive your vote. You do not have to put anything on it. You can choose to put it straight in the box blank. That's your prerogative, but you legally have to turn up and get marked off the register.
Yes.
And their theory is, and I think it's a very sound theory, that most of the time, if you've gone to the effort to turn up, you're going to have your say.
Yeah.
And it is why we have such high voting rates. And I think it's a really good thing. Like, you know, we want to be a democracy. I don't have a problem with it.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So I always work on election day, and I have for about the last 5 or 6 years. So I think this will be my 4th or 5th election that I'll have worked. And for me, this is money that we never banked on. So this is my Black Friday or, you know, major sale spending money. So I never mind working the polls, to be honest. It's it justifies my stash.
Well, I get to do jury duty. I was supposed to do it earlier this month, but it's been deferred until June.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Why would they defer it? That's just me being naive because I never get to do it.
I don't know if you heard about the mushroom lady.
No.
She basically killed a couple of people and poisoned a couple of people with mushrooms. Yeah, food stores.
Oh, wait. Yes, I did see that.
Yeah. Well, that jury, that trial is going to be held.
Oh, so all the smaller cases that you would have been on have been pushed back. Okay.
Have been pushed.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yes. So, yeah.
So have you done jury duty before?
No, I haven't. I've been called up a couple of times, but they always seem to get enough before I get to have a go. So
you've never been selected?
No, I've never actually had an interview even. Oh,
true. You've never even been called up?
No.
Oh, wow. I know.
Yeah. I would like to.
You'd like to?
Oh, yeah.
I think it would depend on the case.
Oh, definitely.
You know, some cases would be interesting to work. Some, I don't think I'd want to be anywhere near the courtroom. Like I said, my husband works for the electricity network here. It is government owned. So for him, they've tried to mandate it because locally we do sometimes struggle to have enough people to turn up to form a jury, even for those called, because there's plenty of people like me that end up having to get out of it because we are in jobs that just can't justify it. So because he's a government job, they actually have it mandated that any worker who is required to turn up, what's it called? When you get called for jury duty, they have to go. They will get paid to be able to attend.
Yes.
So my husband has been impaneled a couple of times.
Oh, okay.
So I've at least got to hear how it works from him. But there was one that he got really frustrated. So I don't know what it's like in other places, but for us, when we get called for jury duty, they always make it a 3-week window. So potentially if you get impaneled in the first week, your court case may only go for 4 or 5 days. So you'll get the rest of the week off. And then the next week, you actually have to turn up to see if you get impaneled again.
Yes.
So potentially you could be in up to 3 panels. So that actually happened to my husband the last time. He went and all of them were over on day 4 or day 5. And he had to turn up for the following week and he got impaneled again. He got impaneled the 3rd time. And I was just like, you've got the worst luck, dude. Like most people don't have that problem at all. You know, if they get 1 in their 3 weeks, you know, it's unusual. And he got 3. But I will say, like, the first two, I still don't know all the details. Like, my husband, you know, takes that oath very, very seriously. So he still won't discuss it with me, which is fine. You know, if that's how he feels, that's how he feels. But he was telling me that one of the ones that he did was, it was a domestic violence. Actually, two of them were domestic violence. But he said it was very much a, you know, he said, she said, you know, it was the injuries were very mild, and it was both ways. You know, it wasn't necessarily just one way or the other. So he said it was interesting to witness that. You know, and it's still awful that this happens regardless, but you know, it was interesting to see the process. The third one, they actually got dissolved, and I am so glad they got dissolved. It turned out to be a sexual abuse case. Sorry for the trigger warning, guys. But it was a sexual abuse case, and it was a minor. And it was a family member, which is even worse. So but something ended up happening. They got impaneled, and they started to do the opening arguments. And then next thing you know, like, the lawyers started talking their discussion point, and they disappeared with the judge out in the back room. They came out and said, "You guys are all gone. We've got to start fresh." And I was like, thank goodness you were not part of that one. That would be an absolutely awful jury to be on. No idea what happened, no idea what went wrong, but yeah, there's some pretty nasty cases out there. I'd hate to think that if you do get impaneled, I'd hate to think you're on one like that. Hopefully it's just something minor.
I'm hoping it's just something, nothing like that.
No. But yeah, it'd be really interesting to see the process.
Yeah, very.
So you'll have to update us once you find out.
I will.
I'm running out of questions, to be honest. So you've got out of this fairly lightly, I feel.
I think so.
But what I did want to throw out to all of our lovely listeners is Kim and I have been talking, and we're trying to work out what we want to do with whip and chats and things. So I thought I'd flag with some of the discussions that we've been having and see what you all think. So the latest thought that we've got is we were actually thinking about doing like a weekly roundup, I'm going to call it. And it will be probably after the releases have happened. You know, we're not trying to compete with everybody else, but we can at least discuss some of the images, and we can even talk about, like, if they sold out, how quickly did they sell out? You know, what the thoughts and feelings of the community are that we've picked up. And we thought we'd talk about each week maybe the new releases that came, and we'd probably largely do the companies that we've known and tried first. So we're thinking companies like DAC, Dreamer Designs, if any come out from Diamond Dots, Three Crazy Cats, you know, these sorts of companies. And especially I want to support our local ANZ companies. So if Fantasy Sparkills bring out any new kits, if Creativity Squirrel brings out any new kits, any Pixel Pages, I'm so sorry, Lisa. This is a fairly new New Zealand company. We haven't tried them yet, but we really want to. So we definitely want to talk about if they bring out any new kits. You know, flash it up. Maybe you haven't seen these other companies and their new releases. We just thought we might share that and have a bit of a talk about it. But let us know in the comments below. Do you like this idea? Do you think there's too much of it already out there available? And if you like it, tell us some of the other companies maybe you think we should talk about too.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, Kim?
No.
Oh, I didn't tell you. Oh my gosh. Like I said, it's been a couple of weeks. My last update is two things. Oh my gosh, two things. So the first one is I set a record last week at work for the most number of needles in one day.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it's that time of the year. My record is now 49 needles in one shift.
That's a lot.
It was a lot.
Oh,
I was pretty exhausted by the end of that. And what was even worse is I'd done 35 the day before. So I did 84 needles in 2 days. I was pretty tired, to be honest.
I can imagine.
And I got into work this week and I started doing my vaccines on Tuesday and, chatting to the patients as we were doing it all. And they were saying, have you got many people? And I was like, oh, yeah, I've got a couple waiting outside. They're like, oh, do you need to rush out? And I was like, no, I'm feeling really relaxed today compared to last week. We're fine. So like every day this week I've had, like, it's only been a 3-day working week here, but every day this week I've been doing like 30 to 40 vaccines. We're still doing tons, but I was like, it's still not 49. I'm good. So it was a little bit crazy.
Just a bit.
Yeah, but look, I think it's a really good thing. Like, at least we're helping to take some of the pressure off the health system. GPs are incredibly hard to get into up here. Like, at the moment, it's a 4 to 6 week wait just to get into your GP. So if we can get people some of their vaccinations and try and help them to prevent disease or get them out of the GP surgeries so that, the GPs can concentrate on those illnesses, I think it's good that we can do our part to take some pressure off.
Yeah.
Even if it does mean 49 needles in a day. And the other update I had was yesterday, my little 5-year-old, we had to have our first parent-teacher interview to see how he's tracking along. So that was a bit of an eye-opening experience. We're just starting our schooling career, so that was interesting. But he's doing really, really well. His teacher was, singing his praises, and yeah. Oh, look, he's a real talker. And even all of her notes he has a very extensive vocabulary. I was like, yes, he does. But he's doing really well with his reading. A lot of his little classmates are all doing their level 1 readers. My son started at level 3. Yeah, he's done really, really well for reading. He's already on a level 4, and when we were talking to her yesterday, she said, I think it's going to be another week or 2 and he'll be on a 5.
Wow.
So he's just going leaps and bounds. He loves his reading, which is great. And, my husband being an engineer, this kid had no chance. He's good at maths.
Yep.
So he ended up with an A+ in maths. He got a 97. So really, really good. And she said the 3 that he got wrong were probably 3 of the easiest on the test. She said he should have had 100. Like, she knows he knew the answer. They were silly mistakes and he just didn't check his work. I mean, granted, he's 5 years old. They're not really checking their work. So give them a bit of leeway. But but it just means he's doing really, really well. So the bullying issue that we've had finally settled down. We've finally broken the focus, the hyper focus that this kid had on my son. And it was a little bit heartbreaking when I picked him up from school at the end of term 1. It was 10 weeks in, and apologies, my cat's going to get in the way in a second. 10 weeks of term 1, and at the end, I picked him up on the Friday. Baby girl. I picked him up and he said to me, he was really excited and said it's the first time that the first week of school and he hadn't been hit. So it broke my heart to know that he'd had 9 weeks of at least, sorry, my cat's tail's almost getting in the glue. It was 9 weeks that every week had been hit at least once. So
that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, but at least we seem to be getting it sorted now. Sorry, everyone. You've seen my black cat in the background, but she's decided she wants to have some love and cuddles now. So she'll have a flashing tail across the screen. Don't rub up against the camera. Don't. No. Okay. Don't push the computer over. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've got anything else to update you with.
Yeah, well, I don't have any updates. Just been working and working and working.
That's it. Same here. Stabbing and stabbing and stabbing.
Yeah.
That's how I roll. And it's even to the stage, you know, I get my patients to come in the room, and if it's husband and wife, they come in together, which is fine.
Yeah.
And I've even gotten to the stage where I'm like, well, there's 2 chairs in here. I have a victim number 1 chair and a victim number 2 chair. So it's up to them which one they want to pick.
That's awesome.
Laugh about these things. You got to laugh.
Of course you do. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I have just finished my second color for this painting, because we all know I'm not very good at diamond painting and chatting at the same time. I can't do 2 things at once.
Well, finished
That canvas is looking so good, Kim. I'm looking up every so often, just thinking it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
I love it. It's really good.
Yep.
But otherwise, we're going to close it off, guys. So let us know in the comments down below, how have you been? Hopefully you've had a good week and a good Easter break and all of those lovely things. And don't forget to let us know what you think about our potential WIP and chats each week now. But otherwise, don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like our video, and subscribe. Please subscribe if you do like our fun and our banter. We'd love to have you along for the ride. But otherwise, we're going to say bye for now. Have a good week, and we'll see you in a video really soon. Bye.
Bye.